Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of The Last Door Season 2. Last time we were playing as Dr. Wakefield, trying to find out what exactly happened to his missing patient, Devitt, something Devitt, and, well, he hasn't exactly found him. He's going after another man, Alexander Dupre, who will likely know where Devitt is, but, you know, things are strange. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I know. Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on Devitt's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexander Dupre. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupre's past. Wakefield discovered that Dupre was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. I must forget nothing. Everything must be set. When the time comes, and I am visited again. Okay. For a moment, the sky was dark. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds. But another sound rose above them. A sound I cannot describe. What? What just happened in here? Where's Miss Con? I still don't know how. I'm gonna go with Cone. Why not? We are too late. It is ashes. The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she were trying to keep someone from entering, or something from getting out. Chalk, a circle drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it could prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. Do not know what to make of all this. I do. Are you alright, Kaufman? It is nothing, mein Freund. Just a bit of a cold. Now, mein Freund, I think we should talk. In light of the events we have recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Devitt. You have to keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of his disappearance, and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You know my answer already, Kaufman. I must know what happened to Devitt. So be it then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving your patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. Psychiatry. I'm sorry. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in the terms we are used to. We're dealing with something old, something dark, a sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. Hold on. This man, Alexander Dupre, and his organization, I think they seek to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Cohen's fate, whatever it was, must be related somehow, but my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again. The man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult. My mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Ba-ba-ba. Season 2, Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Ooh, Wickport. Wright Manor. Let's go. Ooh, forest ambience. Not at a forest. Interesting. I doubt he is away at this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. Mrs. Oakwood. She's the manor's housekeeper. Yes, who is it? Good morning, Miss Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman! Bless my soul, it's been so long I hardly recognize you. How nice to see you again. Let me introduce my colleague, Dr. John Wakefield. Is a professor at home? We would like to see him. Why, yes, doctor, of course. I am quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It really is good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days, on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I am right sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He's now entirely confined to his bed. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look, do you recognize him? It is Johann, Professor, your old pupil. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Should you need my assistance, I'll be in the backyard. Professor? Uncle James, you are back. It is I, Professor, Johann Kaufman. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I am afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could but stimulate his memories. Maybe then he could tell us of his research, something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Perhaps. We have few other options in any case. Let us try. Why don't you explore the manor? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I will try and talk to him about the first time we researched together. Or the time we researched. God, it's a rough night. That could also help him remember. Okay, large wardrobe of engraved wood. We get to explore a creepy manor. I'm sure there's going to be some spoopy stuff. Professor Wright's gaze remains fixed on the window as though he were waiting for someone. Snow is falling outside, slow and silent. Alright. Locked door. Sign on the door reads attic. Lamp provides a soft glow that somehow lacks warmth. Painting of the ocean at the end of the afternoon. There is a figure in black on the beach, but its face is shrouded by a hood. An oil painting shows an obscure medieval scene. You know, my favorite descriptions of paintings are from the movie 1408. When John Cusack finally gets in the room and he starts looking at all the paintings and he's describing them. I haven't read the story, like the actual Stephen King story, so I don't know if it's just taken from the book or not. But in the movie with John Cusack just monologuing about him, I've always enjoyed that part. Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. A large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. Common radiator. An old stone tower is depicted in the painting. Thorned vines have slithered across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade that almost seems to come alive when stared at for too long. Locked door. Won't open. Guess we're heading downstairs. Porcelain jar containing some dried branches. Fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Its head is missing. Ooh. There's a strange ornament on the wall. I think I can move it. Ooh. Clank. 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 Okay, there's 2 symbols. We'll leave it at the one that it wasn't at before. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Mr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It's truly a terrible thing, and to think all these years Mr. Wright knew what would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. This ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can't speak those very long words physicians use, but I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It is like he is a child again. With God's mercy, it has now gone so far that it torments him no longer. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Yeah. Okay, thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. This oak tree looks ancient, probably older than the manor itself. Queen has removed her mask. There's an empty hole where her face should be. What? Statue portrays a clergyman hiding his face behind a mask. Central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. The vessel has a small hole in it, just large enough to see a metal object hidden inside. Okay. You're not gonna take it? That's what we do here, man. When the four remove their masks of lies, the path to the grave will be cleared. I guess I can't remove it. This statue portrays a sage hiding his face behind a mask. This statue portrays a peasant woman with her face hidden behind a mask. Stiff tree, almost like a statue itself. Okay, possibly something to do with those rotating symbols, but I don't know. I don't know anything yet. Cast iron wood stove. A bread oven. Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. Locked door. Doors locked shut. A small sign reads basement. There's a lot to explore in this house. Sea landscape. door. It is locked. And we're back here. Professor Wright is an eclectic collection, from old adventure novels to treatises on the occult sciences. Some of these titles, I believe, have been forbidden by the Crown. Uh-oh. Painting of the cliffs of this region, where fire burns fiercely, rendering the air thick and heavy in the room. A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, this must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Ooh. You want me to move these, or is there a specific order? Well, they all make the same sound, so I don't think sound clues are gonna work here. Okay, maybe we'll discover something about that later. And a locked door. Can hear the racket of many birds on the other side. Okay, well, so far we have no clues. Really. A tin soldier looks to have been painted by hand. Commemorates some military campaign that I have not heard of. Alright, I have found nothing. I've picked up nothing. And I'm no closer to anything. This worries me, because we're already 17 minutes in, and I feel like this is going to be a lengthy one. I think we might have to walk through this one up. That really shouldn't bother you. In fact, you're probably just waiting for me to look up the walkthrough anyways. I don't know how many of you really find enjoyment from me struggling to figure something out. Maybe, but in which case, screw you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Like, it's tricky, because it doesn't pick up things automatically. You have to hover over them a second time to pick it up. So I looked at that tin soldier. I probably should have realized I could pick it up, but I didn't, because I was like, who cares? But could it hold some special significance, Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. Okay, and now we take it back to him. Do you recognize this, Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. My dearest visitor, he will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the Book of Travels. The Book of Travels? Yes, yes, he will work it out. But it must not be too easy, no. But he will find the prize, I'm sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed, something precious. In his addled state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? He was always a proud man. He would not have easily have forgotten his most groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance, at least, would have remained. In his confusion, perhaps he has holed it away somewhere for this dearest visitor of his to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps something will relate to these latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memory through conversation. Okay. Well, I mean, I have the walkthrough up, so I'm not gonna try and bullshit you here, but if I didn't, you know, he did mention a book. So, you want to look for books. There's a large volume here, quite worn. It is an illustrated edition of the Travels of Marco Polo. Perhaps this is the Book of Travels that Professor Wright mentioned. There's a mark on one of the pages. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert, always facing the setting sun. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north, in dear hope of reaching our home soon. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to the south, where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. And now we have to deal with this. This isn't. No, this isn't. It's like this. I don't know. Okay, I'll just use the walkthrough. So, oh wait, what is this? Oh, okay, that's the. Okay, all right. So it's this, this. But I may have fucked it up by clicking. Unless you have to hold the button, but that doesn't make any sense. No, now I'm probably fucked it up. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, it seems like you have to hold the button. Yeah, okay. You have to hold the button. It seems I've triggered a hidden mechanism. A small compartment is opened in the globe. That would have taken me a while on my own. There is a sealed letter inside. It is simply addressed to my dearest visitor. Kaufman needs to see this before it is opened. Okay, and away we go. I'm also trying to hurry through this because it's like 90 degrees in my room and I can't have any fans or air conditioning things running while I'm recording. So let's get through it. It would be better to give this to Kaufman. Of course it would. Kaufman, look, I found an envelope. It was hidden inside a globe that a strange mechanism opened. To my dearest visitor, let us see what is inside. Exactly, this is another part of an intricate riddle. But to what purpose? To conceal something, perhaps? Or just the last acts of a confused and drowning mind? I am increasingly of the opinion that this is some mental construct, some riddle conjured up by the professor's failing mind. He may not have even understood what he hid. Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. A riddle? And who would that visitor be? It is unknown to me, mein Freund. There's only one way to answer that question. If we can find the answer to the professor's riddle, perhaps we will be able to solve this mystery. Okay. Yeah, apparently I missed things even on my cursory tour through the house. But that sounds about right. Wish I could fast travel. Gilded pipe runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. I think that's a hint. What am I looking for? Oh, here. An old teapot. Yeah. Filled with cold water. Boom. Various ingredients. Various ingredients. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. What's got to be here? Glass jar. There's a matchbox here too. I may need these matches later. Okay, it didn't say that the first time. Okay, if I want to heat the teapot on the stove, I'll need to start a fire first. The stove already has plenty of wood. Okay, just leave the teapot there, man. I'll get it. Water will cool soon. Yes, very soon. We have to race upstairs because that's how quickly water cools. And as you might have guessed, we're using it on the mirror. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal knowledge that the cold eye of logic sees not. Condensation from the teapot's steam has revealed a hidden message. I'll add this clue to the letter. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master, meet his imposing gaze, and seek to understand what lies beneath. Thereby learn the question, if not the final answer. Huh. Okay. I mean, yeah, it definitely cheapens things using a walkthrough. But it also can be pretty frustrating to not do it. Look upon your master, meet not only his imposing gaze, but seek to understand what lies beneath. As I suspected, there's a small key taped to the back of the picture frame, and a note. I'll add this clue to the letter. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. Okay. And so, of course, we will use this key to open the attic to reach the top of the building. Shelf covered in old ornaments, pieces of metalwork, and pipes of strange shapes. Some kind of round mechanism. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get to that later. An unusual electrical device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I can tell there's a piece of equipment missing. Like some matches? The answer yearns up to it from the very root of life and time itself. I should check if there's something hidden near that tree. That ancient oak tree is the tallest tree on the grounds. Okay. So now we go back downstairs, outside, and we go and we get another key from under the tree. It's all decidedly not very spoopy so far. It looks as though something has been concealed beneath the thick roots. Another note and a key bound together. It is a truth our ancestors knew, and with stone silence came to unknow. This key has been engraved with the shape of a feather. Okay. Why can't you fast travel? Why do you prevent this? Oh. What? Say what? Is it this one? No. What the hell is a living room? Okay, am I dumb? Is there another locked door I'm forgetting about? Was there a door over here? Oh, there was. Oh, yeah, the birds. Shit, I'm stupid. Even with a walkthrough. Oh, God. Okay. A truth that our ancestors knew and through stone silence came to unknow. There's a small compartment in the base of the bust. Busted open. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Primal horror? Embroidered cloth covers this cage. On it is written, "If the birds are silent," the phrase trails off. Oh, it's my cloth now. Only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. There's something hidden in the lion's mouth. A lever. I think it has triggered some mechanism inside the manor. There's also a note in here. Will you at last know truth? Could this be the last part of the riddle? Could be. Gosh. Secret passage is open at the end of the corridor. This looks like Professor Wright's archive. I should bring Kaufman here at once. Experiments, 1885. Let's see. Have a look at this. Be careful, there is a small key inside the folder. 1st August 1885. Results at last. After months of tedious observation, something has finally come from the other side. I heard the sound of footsteps exploring the proximity of the stone archway. This would seem to verify my hypothesis. Absolute horror is the key that we seek. September 20th, 1885. Now that they have proven themselves useful, I've installed 2 new devices in the outer tunnels. I dare not go deeper. I have not heard it again, but I know the thing must still be down there, in the dark. November 12th. The containment in the underground tunnel has been breached. Redacted, gone. December 15th. I have no choice but to abort the experiment. It can no longer be controlled. There is but one thing left to do. I will seal the tunnel and hope that the abomination remains forever entombed within. What is this supposed to be? It seems to be a log that the professor kept during one of his experiments, almost 7 years ago. It is noteworthy that one of the entries has been redacted. But what is written in here? It cannot be true. It must be some kind of hallucination. A sign of Professor Wright's illness, maybe. Perhaps, though we should not jump to conclusions. We can conclude that the professor had another working place, underground. Perhaps that key opens the basement door. There could be a route through to this underground tunnel. Meanwhile, I will keep looking through these documents. There must be something more than that folder among this mess. Set of framed silhouettes. Under each is an inscribed plaque. Little puzzle! Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. Okay. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. Mrs. Bartley never take her eyes off her daughter and watch them at all times. Well, no, that doesn't really... Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. I didn't even use the walkthrough for that, I swear. It was that easy. Compartment is open in the wall. Okay. That's done. So now let's go to the basement. Should be the right way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Basement. It's completely dark in here. I feel a cold draft coming from the front. There we go. Oh, we gotta keep lighting matches, because matches don't last that long. And they hurt when they run out. I felt that shit. Run out of matches. Okay, this won't end badly at all. Am I crawling? Or is something crawling towards me? Oh, something's lurking. Oh, something's approaching. What does that sound like? Fall. Something is falling. Probably me. And we're in a cave. I've fallen through a hole. Where am I? The flow of air is stronger here. Looks like a component of some sort of machine. Metal Gear. Maybe I can find out where to use it. Working lantern. Now I can get out of here safely. Oh, okay. This part of the tunnel is blocked by a cave-in. The underground tunnel is not accessible from here. I should go back. Yeah, okay. Thank goodness, a ladder. Aha. There's a mechanism of some sort. Okay. Nice basement. Plenty of space. We cannot access the tunnel mentioned in Professor Wright's log. How can we find the missing parts of his research? I must talk to Kaufman about this. So we shall. I was able to use the key to explore the basement. There's a large hole in the floor. One side of the hole may lead to some sort of tunnel, but it was completely covered in rocks and debris, so I cannot tell for sure. Covered in debris? It sounds as if the professor succeeded in blocking the entrance to this underground area. It is unfortunate for us. I've made some progress in my own, mein Freund. I think this could help us elucidate the next step in our search. Have a look. Today a meeting finally took place. You see, Mr. Wright, our organization is keenly interested in your research. We could reach an agreement to fund this project, but first we need to know the details. I understand. The main factor is the condition of the test subject, how open he is to suggestion. As you know, only the human mind can open a physical passage to the other side, so complete, absolute darkness will be required for the experience to result. A secluded place, completely isolated. Place that can only bring thoughts of what may be hiding in the dark. I have the perfect location in mind. But in total darkness and seclusion, how could the results of the experiment be studied or confirmed? That is precisely where your organization can provide help. I have designed a special device that would allow me to listen from a safe distance, but I lack the means to manufacture it myself. That we could arrange. But there is one last thing I would like to know. How would the experience be triggered? By means of a chemical compound of some kind? Do you mean a serum? Not at all. That would be of no elegance whatsoever. The trigger is the mind itself, the emotion known as terror. The Primal fear that still survives in the depths of our mind from the times humans were mere beasts. That which allows us to open a physical passage beyond the veil of rational thought. Primal terror is the key that we will use to open the last door. Oh, that's the name of the game! Could this organization be the playwright? It may be, mein Freund. If so, then we are closer to the truth than we thought. But in this room I've been able to find only some fragments of information, discarded material. It looks as if the main bulk of documents were removed from this room and hidden somewhere else. The basement tunnel. That seems the most reasonable conclusion. But access to that place is lost, is it not? The entrance was sealed. There may be another access that we do not know about. If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light on this matter. Well, then I better get to it, because you ain't doing shit. Where you finally get to go to where those statues are. I think I was right, and those mechanisms corresponded to the masks. I just hope I got them all correct. Oh. Uh-oh. I think I done goofed. Yeah, okay, so I did something wrong. Which means we have to spend extra time figuring out, I thought this one was correct before. She didn't have her mask. So how did I screw that up? I never touched this. Maybe I was... Shit, where was the second one? Where the hell was the second one? Was it in the attic? Was it in... Fudge? Yes, I think so. I think we're gonna leave those as they were, which I thought... I don't know what was up with that one downstairs, though. Oh, maybe... Okay. No, I think I know what happened. I think I know. Maybe you know as well. If you think about it a second. Cha-ching! Clay vessel held by the statue is now broken into many pieces. There's an object among them. It must have been hidden inside. Looks like a compass. It must be broken since it does not point north. But what about this tree? Okay, we got the compass. What do we do with the compass? Oh, we go back to the attic. Of course we do. We got nothing better to do than run all the way up to the attic. I think it will work now. Oh! This sound. My ears deceive me? Is that a piano melody? I must see Kaufman at once. Not to state the obvious, but it sounds as if someone is still down there, playing the piano of all things. But how is that even remotely possible? I do not know, but this means something important to us. It means there's another entrance to the underground tunnel, and that we must find it. We've run out of leads. You do not find anything of use in the archive, and Professor Wright continues to mutter incoherently about childhood memories. You must hypnotize the professor, mein lieber Freund. We are running out of options. This might be the only way to find the answers we seek. Look at this candle. Fix your eyes upon it. Your body is as light as a feather. Everything around you fades. You are entering a dark, endless void. Listen to my voice. Where are you? A great number of trees surround me. The sun is setting soon. I can go north and west. Okay, a certain room with a ladder. Okay, where the fuck do I start? I have a map of this. Okay, so I must be in the... Okay, I'm in the forest. So, go north. I stand beside a waterfall. It is not water that falls, but mud and rock from a great height. They fall and fall into a bottomless abyss. Behind the waterfall to the east lies a tunnel. To the west I see the edge of the forest. Go east. I'm in a dark tunnel. Oscar is here as well. He is upset. He yells at me. He begs me to stop. The tunnel divides into many passages. I can go north, south, and west. Go north. I am in a large open space with a piano. Something stands next to the piano. I can't see it clearly. Its face. The tunnel stretches into the dark. Walk down the tunnel. It is a very small room. In the center lies a deep pit. A ladder goes down. It is so dark. Down there it lies. It waits. I will not continue. I must go back. Go down the ladder. I cannot. I can hear it with me. Its breath. Dear God, I must flee. I must continue. It waits for me. It waits down there. I have gone down the ladder. I cannot see. It is pitch dark. I can feel its breath. It is here. It is with me. A good clap. Enough. We went too far, mein Freund. You are right. I did not think you would react this way. You did well by stopping the trance, Kaufman. I think it would be best if we leave it for today. Let us return to the inn. Reflect tonight on what we have witnessed here. Tomorrow, let's discuss the next steps in our investigation. You know what? I gotta end it here. We'll go through this cut. We'll get back to when I can move again, but I'm looking at the walkthrough. It goes on for a while yet. Like, I don't even know if we're halfway through the second episode, so this one's really long. The next two don't seem as long. This one is like the big one. But, okay. Come in. Kaufman, are you alright? Worry not, Wakefield. I am just feeling a bit feeble. It must be all this cold and humidity. Nothing serious. I would like to know your opinion about what we heard during yesterday's session. Do you remember anything that could help us in our search? I believe that this underground tunnel has left a deep impression on Professor Wright's subconscious. I agree. The horror he experienced at the end of the session was far too intense to derive solely from his imagination. It speaks of some trauma. Sea was a recurring theme during the hypnotic regression. Yes, it is true. Maybe the entrance to this tunnel is somewhere closer to the coast. Throughout the trance, he saw an unknown figure with no visible face, the floating body in the water, the person near the rocks, the one beside the piano. Yes, indeed, but I am afraid it is too soon to unveil the true meaning of those images. Professor Wright mentioned a man that shouted at him near the entrance to the tunnel, begging him not to continue. I cannot remember his name. Very good. It was Oscar. We should attempt to find him. He may know something about Professor Wright's fears. If we can find this man, I am sure we will shed some light upon the mystery. Why don't you go to the village and try to find out something about Oscar? My apologies, but I must stay here and recover my strength. Okay, town square. Alrighty then. Yeah, so I don't really like to do this, but from the looks of it, it would be like another half hour at the least or something. There's just a lot of steps here. But who knows? Maybe in the next one, maybe I'm not reading it properly. Maybe the next one will be really short, but either way, I'd rather not risk it. And it's damn hot in here. So, my name is Mangg. Game watching has been The Last Door, Season 2. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.